Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, What My Lens Sees. Always happy to have you here. And today I wanted to talk about a subject that I quite honestly can't find that much information on out on YouTube, and that is around audio and audio quality with the Nikon Z6. So what I'd like to do with you today is just share three scenarios that are really just different options for capturing audio with the Nikon Z6. Scenario number one is simply using Nikon's internal microphone. Scenario number two is using an external shotgun mic like the Rode external mic. And scenario number three is a combination of the Rode external mic with an external recorder such as the Atomos Ninja V. Now, before we get into the tests, full disclaimer here, this is a very non-scientific test. So any audiophiles or people that are super familiar with audio settings, turn this video off now. This is for people that have just bought a camera or just diving into video for the first time and really haven't thought about audio as they make a transition from being a photographer into a videographer. These are very basic tests. And again, audiophiles, shut this down now. Otherwise, I'm going to hear it in the comments. Thank you. Okay, so the first scenario that we're going to run is actually two different test samples or test conditions. The first is with the internal mic set to a level of +10, and the second sample will be with the internal mic simply set to +20. Now, I don't plan to do anything with this audio. I am simply going to take it straight from the card, put it into this video, no scrubbing or processing done whatsoever, so that you can just hear the difference between an internal mic on the Nikon Z6 set to +10 and an internal mic set to +20. Scenario number one, test condition number one, internal mic of Nikon Z6 set to a level of +10. This is a test of the Nikon Z6 audio. Testing 1, 2, 3. Test scenario number one, test condition number two. This is the Nikon Z6 with the internal microphone set to +20. This is a test of the Nikon Z6 audio. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now let's move on to test scenario number two. The only difference between test scenario 2 and 1 is that we have added an external microphone. In this case, it's the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus that's plugged directly into the Nikon Z6. And like the first scenario, in the second scenario, we're going to do two different test conditions. Test condition number one is turning down the internal mic sensitivity on the Z6 to a level of +3, and then increasing the level on the Rode VideoMic to +20. Test condition number two is going to be turning up the internal mic sensitivity on the Nikon Z6 to a level of +10, and then just having no boost on the external microphone, so that will just be set to 0. Scenario number two, test condition number one. Nikon Z6 internal mic sensitivity set to +3, external Rode VideoMic Pro Plus set to +20. This is a test of the Nikon Z6 audio. Testing 1, 2, 3. Test scenario 2, test condition number 2. The Nikon Z6 internal microphone sensitivity set to +10 and the level control on the external mic set to 0. This is a test of the Nikon Z6 audio. Testing 1, 2, 3. And finally, we have test scenario 3, which is basically eliminating the Nikon Z6 internal microphone and recording directly to an external recorder, which in this case I'm using the Atomos Ninja V. With scenario 3, again, I plan to do two different test conditions. Test condition number 1 is having the gain set to plus 15 for both the left and the right channel on the external recorder, and then the level control on the external microphone set to 0. Test condition number 2 will be to have the external recorder gain levels set to 0 on both the left and right channel, and the external Rode microphone level control set to a plus 20. Test scenario 3, test condition number 1. Left and right gain on external recorder set to plus 15, and level control on the external mic set to 0. This is a test of the Nikon Z6 audio. Testing 1, 2, 3. Test scenario number 3, test condition number 2, which has the external recorder gain on both the left and right set to 0, and the level control on the external Rode microphone set to plus 20. This is a test of the Nikon Z6 audio. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, I hope that those 3 test scenarios and the different test conditions within those scenarios were helpful for you to hear the difference in the audio quality between those different types of setups. For me personally, I think the configuration I like the most is the combination of using the external microphone with the external recorder. Of course, that's also the most costly, but it gives you not only the best video, but also the best audio quality. In terms of the 2 different test conditions with that setup, I think, me personally, I like the second one, which was having the microphone do the bulk of the work. In that case, I had the microphone set to plus 20 and the levels for the left and right on the external recorder set to 0. To me, that audio sounded the fullest, the richest, and probably the best sounding straight out of the recording with no post-processing. Probably second favorite configuration was just hooking the external mic into the Nikon camera, and then obviously the internal microphone being the least preferable of those 3 different setups. So let me just quickly show you with my iPhone video what the camera configuration or setup looks like when you've got the external microphone plus the external recorder. Just a quick rundown here. You can see the Z6, which is set on a tripod. On that tripod, we also have a small rig wooden handle, which connects to a magic arm, which allows me to have that external recorder set up there right next to the camera. Of course, on top of the Nikon Z6, on the hot shoe mount, I've got the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. So pretty easy setup overall, and a fun way to run a few different tests on Nikon's audio quality. I'll leave a link below in the description to each of the components that I've used in the making of this film, so that if you are interested in improving your audio quality, you can look for some of these components to complement your Nikon Z6 camera. So that's all for now. Again, I appreciate you guys coming here to my channel, watching my videos, supporting, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you as always, and we will see you here again next time. Take care. Good morning, everyone.